Welcome back. In this one, we need to talk about prop types and validation. From the child component or the component that is catching or receiving the props, we can use an object to get them. But the thing is that the object gives you additional features like validation and prop types. So first, I'm going to go back to our app.view and I'm going to change the last name to something a little bit more dynamic. I'm going to do Colin and I'm going to change this property to user last name, just to separate this from what we are going to create right here. And then I'm going to get that value from the reactive property. This one is going to be last name, and this one is going to be Jones. And now instead of passing just Jones, it's going to be data.lastName. Now, since we changed the name of the property, we need to change it right here, and we need to change it right here at the top. Right? So user last name, everything should be working fine. If I reload it to get rid of the warnings, we are good. So, okay, so instead of using an array, because that's what we are using to catch the props, we can use an object. And it's going to work the same way, but, things are going to change a little bit right now. So for now, I'm just going to get rid of the brackets, and I'm going to break it into multiple lines. I'm going to go here and just put it there. Now, since we have an object, we need to do something here and then put it right here and just do something right there. Since, again, we have an object, we have a key, and then we have a value. So we need to provide a value. And the value is going to be the type checking, which type or which type of prop we are going to get. In this case, we can do different ones. I'm going to say that on also known as, we should be getting a string. And maybe on user last name, again, we should be getting a string. If I save this, as you can see, when I reload the application, we are still, getting a good application. We get no errors and we get no warnings. Let's say that I'm going to go back to the app. I'm going to create a new property. This one is going to be, let's say age. And for the age, I'm going to pass 28. And now we need to pass this as a prop. And it's going to be user and then age. And maybe you can see the convention right here. If this is called age and we are working with users, it's user, capital A and then age. And this one, again, data and then age. So now we are passing a new prop. We need to go here and say that we are going to get that user age. And then this user age is going to be equals to, a string or a number. It depends on what you want to do. For now, I'm just going to say string because, again, I want to show you something. I'm going to show you how this works. Since now we are working with the string, I guess I'm going to need to copy this and go right here at the bottom and just say that we are expecting the age and we are going to use it within the template. So if I reload the application, everything works and we are still getting the prop, we are still getting the value, but we get a warning and it says type check failed for the user age, expecting a string with value 28, but got a number instead. And this is because we are passing a number as a type, but we're expecting a string. So this will not break the application, but it will give you a warning. So right now, the only thing I can do, I can go back to the app.view and change this for a string. Or if I want to keep it a number, I can go back here and say that we are expecting a number. And if I reload the application, we are going to get rid of that warning. The prompts can get a little bit more complex than this. We are using very simple values. If I go back to the app, let's say that now we have something new. We have the parents of the user. So I'm going to say parents, open and close. So now we have an object. And inside we have the dad and we have mom. So I'm going to say father. And then let's say we have the name of the parent, mother. And this one is going to be, I don't know, something else. Martha. That's fine. So now we are passing the parents, but the parents is now an object. Now, instead of passing this, we could, pass the whole damn thing. But now, instead of a value, it's going to be just an object. So we need to do you use that as a prop type? And I guess on this one, I'm going to call it user and then parents. Using user and then parents equals to data dot and then parents. Now, since we are expecting this, I'm going to go here and we say that we are expecting that user parents, but this needs to be an object. And this is gonna, pass the test. Now, I guess we need a way to show the parents. I'm gonna create a tiny little split right here, maybe an HR. You know what? I'm gonna do a title. And this one, I'm gonna call it parents. And since we are getting an object, instead of just a single value, we need to maybe loop this and get, both parents. I'm going to create a UL, I'm going to do li, and right here inside, I'm going to do a span. And for this, since we are getting a list, an object, we can use the v-for to catch the values. And it's going to be in, and then user, and then I guess I should be getting the parents, user parents. We should be getting the key, we should be getting the value, and then we need to get the index. Now, when you loop an array of an object array or just key value pairs, since you have many elements, you need to provide a key, and you need to go here and say bind key, and then pass maybe whatever value, and the key needs to be unique. In the case of index, it's going to be unique. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say that I want that key, which is the value, the key, and then outside, let's say I want the value, which is the same thing that we are doing right here, span, and then the value, and this one value. Cool. Let's see if this works. I'm going to reload it just in case, and we have the parents, then we have Mario, and we have Martha. Cool, everything works. I'm doing the UL within a UL. Maybe I don't like that. I'm going to put it outside. Cool. And I'm going to make it a little bit better. Oh, and I made a mistake again with the same thing. It should be key and then value. So this is going to be value, and this one is going to be key. Cool. And if I reload it, we have father, mother, Mario, and Martha. So should you use prop types or just type checking? Well, this is completely up to you. And this is going to add an extra layer of work to your coding. But it is nice to get warnings if you're not getting the correct type, because it might break your code. And this depends. It depends on how deep you want to go, right? If you're working with a lot of people, maybe a team, a lot of guys touching the same code, adding prop types, or even TypeScript is a good idea. I need to show you more things in terms of type checking, but the thing is that I'm lacking something right here. I need to show you something else before we can talk a little bit more about the rest of the functions that we get for type checking. So let's go to the next one, and we're going to talk about custom events and emitting events.